Did you know that Capricorn is half this and half this? Welcome back to Astrology by 33, where ancient astrology is made young again. It's an honor to have you here today. The mission here is to revive lost teachings in order to help you grow and to realize the great potential sleeping within you. This is about discovering the truth in astrology and weeding out the rest. Real astrology is not just about personality types. It holds one of the keys that will help you decode the matrix. It's worth studying all the signs and not just the one we think is our personality. Astrology will help you understand your past so that you can design your own future by using the science of light. Today is all about the sign of Capricorn. As we all know, Capricorn is one of the 12 constellations in the zodiac. Something that's really important for people to understand is that if you're a Capricorn, you don't want to think that you're only a certain way. If you follow Western astrology, being a Capricorn means that your sun is actually in the sign of Capricorn. In Vedic astrology, you'll find that Capricorn takes on a completely different meaning when the moon enters the sign. When all the different planets enter Capricorn, you're going to get different results. Remember, all the planets are inside of you, not just the sun. We don't want to put all of our attention exclusively on the sun or the moon, although they're very good indications as to how we'll experience the world and how others will see us from the outside. If we understand all the signs, we then have the keys to self-mastery. This video talks about the energetic nature and magnetism that the sign of Capricorn actually stands for. It's good to understand the energy of a sign before you know how the planets will express themselves in that sign. Just keep in mind, you have other planets working in your body, making you uniquely you. So let's talk about Capricorn. What is it? What does it represent? What is the magnetism of Capricorn? You want to think of each sign as a magnet. There are 12 signs and each magnet will only attract very specific things. For example, a regular magnet as you know it won't attract a tennis ball. So the sign of Capricorn will only attract and make certain things in your life appear. This can show up as different qualities, objects, or events. Capricorn is the natural ruler of the 10th house in astrology. Your body is composed of all 12 zodiac signs. All the constellations are inside of you. The top of your head is Aries, your face is Taurus, and moving all the way down in order, you'll find Pisces in your feet. So where's Capricorn in your body? Capricorn is located in your knees. These are the most flexible joints in the lower half of your body, which bend up to 140 degrees. The energy of Capricorn is telling us the importance of being both flexible and stable at the same time. Sometimes in life, we can be really grounded and stable, but we get stuck and comfortable there. Capricorn is teaching us that it's helpful to be flexible while remaining grounded at the same time. On the other hand, some people are way too flexible in life and have absolutely no ground beneath to support them, so they fall flat on their faces. We should be like our knees, stable yet flexible. If we don't stretch our knees regularly, they get stiff and painful. So it's important to stay moving in this sign. Capricorn is a moving sign, according to many ancient Vedic astrology scriptures. If we try to stay fixed and grounded in this sign, the energy will back up and eventually cause us suffering if we forget the moving component. It's possible to stay moving while maintaining a grounded support, just like our knees. I like to call this dynamic stability. You can jump higher if you bend your knees more. The less you bend your knees, the lower your jump will be. So in life, if you want to advance higher in your pursuits, remember to make sure you have a good grounded foundation from which you can move freely. It's hard to work from home if you have junk all over the place. But if you clear the junk and set up a clean foundational space, then it's easier to move forward in your work, literally. It's hard to move when your desk and workspace are filled with junk and clutter. Make sure your foundation is set first, then you'll see that you're able to move a lot more and you'll have way more flexibility. Capricorn supports all the other 9 zodiac signs that come before it, just like your knees support your entire body above. Without the knees, you wouldn't even be able to stand up or walk. Just try to stand up right now with straight legs. Don't bend your knees. You'll find that it doesn't work that well. But if you use the flexibility available in your knees by bending them before you stand up, you'll see that it's actually very easy. We must stay flexible and moving in the areas that Capricorn rules over, which the rest of this video will explain. The knees support everything you do when it comes to moving around, standing up, and walking. If you take out the knees, just like a skyscraper, the whole building will fall. That's why it's so important to understand the foundational aspect of this sign. Yet keep in mind that it also supports movement. For success, you need both. Everyone should master this sign if they want success in all the other 9 areas of life that come before Capricorn, specifically Aries through Sagittarius. A lot of people are not aware that the wealth, success, and good luck in Sagittarius are all supported and receive flowing energy from Capricorn first. If you can clear Capricorn and make it flow, then you will have more success in the Sagittarius areas of your life, which we talked about in the last video. The sign of Capricorn is moving up in consciousness as compared to all the signs before it. So it's worth spending a little extra time on the last few signs of the zodiac for this reason. If you can master the last few signs first, Capricorn being one of them, then everything else in your life will naturally flow better because you're addressing the root cause of existence. Capricorn energy also tells us to make sure we have protection in life. The knee is full of joint fluid that acts as lubrication. The fluid prevents damage to the knee and nerves. There are 2 big pads in the knee that also serve as shock absorbers for stress. Capricorn is telling us not only to have protection, but to have something set in place that will absorb shock and stress in life. For example, having a practice like meditation is an excellent way to deal with any stress you might be having from your job. Meditation is a shock absorber, just like the meniscus pads in your knees. Yoga and meditation have been scientifically proven to reduce stress. Capricorn rules over your career. This is a really good example. This sign carries a lot of weight and stress, literally. We need to keep this energetic aspect of ourselves healthy, especially before we seek things like pleasure, fun, and feel-good activities. The symbol for Capricorn is a sea monster. The top half is a land animal with a weapon on its head, such as a tusk or antlers. This weapon symbolizes the pain of facing our past karma head on. Specifically, this creature has the head of a deer with antlers, and the lower half is a sea creature. This creature is the guardian of the gateway that protects the throne room of higher consciousness. There are many barriers we have to go through before we can achieve self-realization, and even God-realization after that. Capricorn is a major guardian of this massive gate and void. We can't get past the sea monster until it dishes out all of our past karma. We have to neutralize all of our wrongs before we are allowed to pass. There is a price for every action. Capricorn sees to it that we pay the fair price for everything we've done, this life and all our lives before. Another symbol for Capricorn is a vicious water animal with a prominent nose. Alligators and crocodiles are perfect examples. The water they dwell in symbolizes higher consciousness. Their nose stands out because it's super pointed. Their whole face pretty much melts into their nose. So what does this mean? We know that our nose is the outer entrance to the third eye, which sits in the middle of our head. Our two nostrils actually terminate in the third eye and become one center inside. The crocodile is showing us that the outer entrance of the gate to the third eye is literally located at the point of our nose. Our nose on the outside is the land aspect of the crocodile, which is lower consciousness. The third eye on the inside is the water aspect of the crocodile, which is higher consciousness. Just like the sea creature we talked about earlier is half land animal and half water animal. The energy of Capricorn is all about the entrance point to the third eye. It's not about the third eye itself yet. We'll get to that part in the next 2 videos. Remember, Capricorn is a split sign. The first half is land-based, which is 0 to 15 degrees. This half is stronger in the 10th house and during the middle of the day, like around noon. That's the stable and grounded aspect of Capricorn in the outer world. Land tends to be stable. The second half of Capricorn is water-based, which goes from 16 to 30 degrees. That's the moving and spiritual aspect of Capricorn in the inner world of higher consciousness. The last half of Capricorn here is strong in the 4th house and at night. The actual gateway is right at 15 degrees. It's the crossover point. The last half of Capricorn starts to move out of form into the realm above physical manifestation at this point. The higher our consciousness ascends, the less dependent we become on form and the outer world, also known as the matrix. Just be aware that your nose is the outer gateway that leads to the third eye door, also known as your spiritual eye. Yoga teaches techniques that activate and open this gate. Kriya Yoga is an advanced practice which must be taught by a master. The elements linked to Capricorn are earth and water. The first half of Capricorn rules over earth because it's land-based. The last half of Capricorn rules over water because we're moving out of form towards the great abyss. You might be wondering why water is considered so spiritual. Technically, it's an aspect of the Holy Spirit manifested into form. Water existed before anything was created, according to the creation story in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. Where there is water, there is God. Note that the Bible does not say that God created water. It was already there. Ezekiel chapter 43, verse 2 says that God's voice is like the sound of many waters. Areas on Earth that hold strong Capricorn energy include rivers or forests with lots of water. In particular, it rules over swamps and marshes. So any place that is waterlogged with some movement in the water, think Capricorn. Now, Scorpio is fixed water, but Capricorn is moving water that includes both land and water. For example, the Everglades in Florida are saturated in Capricorn energy. It's also no coincidence that the Everglades are full of crocodiles, which we just went over. This region is a perfect example of the crossing point between land and water, which is Capricorn energy manifested. This sign also rules over quicksand because it contains both earth and water. Rain and drought are ruled by Capricorn. The point where a raindrop touches the ground is that perfect point between land and water, Capricorn energy. Things that relate to the sky or the atmosphere are ruled by Capricorn. Clouds, mist, vapor, and ether all fall into this sign's energy. The planet that rules over Capricorn is Saturn. It's known to govern the great sea that lies beyond the massive void of higher consciousness. The water aspect of Capricorn is connected to this cosmic sea. In the last video, we learned all about Sagittarius and how it helps us with higher learning and with getting the building blocks to starting something new. Capricorn is all about what you're going to do with those building blocks. Once you have the steel, now it's time to build the skyscraper. Sagittarius is about getting the steel and learning how to use it, while Capricorn is all about taking that steel and placing it in the middle of New York City in the form of a building. It's all about making it happen. Some people learn things, but they never do anything with it. What good is learning how to make a salad if you never take time to make one? Capricorn is about the application of the knowledge that was learned in Sagittarius, which often ends up turning into a career for many people. Knowledge plus application of knowledge equals Capricorn. It's doing something with what you know. This is a key to material success. If you want to go deeper into the subtleties of Capricorn, I suggest reading the very short book of James in the back of your Bible. It was written by the brother of Jesus. It's full of Capricorn secrets. James probably knew Jesus much better than the rest of the authors in the New Testament, yet they slipped the book in the very back of the Bible, so most people never even read the book. It's my favorite. It's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. It's all about doing something instead of talking about it. If you don't own a Bible, you can read it for free online. In politics, we find people constantly talking about things, but they rarely actually do anything. James says, quit talking and get moving. Capricorn is a female sign, serving a passive role in order for your ideas to fill it up. It generally has a favorable and beneficial energy. The direction in space that Capricorn rules is south. The main thing that everyone knows Capricorn to rule over is your job or your career. It's the business you go into or your occupation in general. It holds the energy of your completed work. When you finish a job, that's what people know you for. If I write a book and complete it, I'm then known as an author. The book is my completed work. That is pure Capricorn energy. One thing to keep in mind with our work is to be more like our knees, as weird as that sounds. Staying flexible in a supportive environment. People that make small adjustments in their work with this in mind often see that their entire career improves. Being flexible sometimes means considering other points of view. Things don't always have to be black or white. Many people appreciate flexibility in the work environment. It's also healthy to be supportive of the people we work with, considering we have less pain when there's more support, just like the pads in our knees. Encouraging one another instead of criticizing can also be a part of that support system. If it's impossible to be nice, at least we can try to practice tolerance. Being flexible is about stretching just a bit out of our comfort zone for the sake of harmony. Capricorn rules over fame. It's being in the spotlight. This sign puts a person where everyone can see them. So if you have a planet like Jupiter here, it can make you very famous. Obama, Princess Diana, Meryl Streep, and Jim Carrey all have Jupiter in Capricorn. By the way, you should check out the Vedic astrological chart of Jim Carrey. It's off the charts. He has 6 planets in Capricorn. So we all know he's super famous and has a very unique energy. Now, just because you're famous doesn't mean you're going to be happy. Jupiter is actually debilitated in this sign. Jim Carrey has struggled with depression. Princess Diana battled depression and bulimia. Capricorn rules over the energy of moving forward and going in general. It's in charge of the things you're always doing and working towards. If you say that you need to go and do something, that is a Capricorn thing. It's a task that needs to get done. It's the actual doing of that task that Capricorn rules. Generally, these are the tasks that are for the sake of others and not for oneself, just like someone's job which serves others. You'll often see that when people retire from their jobs, they get depressed. That's because they have stopped flowing with the moving energy of Capricorn. Capricorn isn't saying that you always need to have a job. It's just saying that you need to always have something that you're working towards. You should always have goals you're working towards, especially if you're retired. If not, the energy can do a 180 on you and backfire. Keep moving towards your goals. That will balance the energy and you're less likely to get depressed. Capricorn rules over all your achievements and accomplishments. It's your status level in society, your ranking, or your position in life. It highlights all of your success. The sign also rules over your progress, growth, and advancement of an activity. For example, someone could advance in their work by moving from the job of a grocery bagger to a cashier manager. Or you could make progress from doing a single backflip to doing a double backflip over time in your gymnastics training. It's all about moving up and forward. A mayor who advances his career to being president of the country is a perfect Capricorn example. Bigger, better, and beyond. Capricorn holds the energy of being in the middle or center of something. It's the point of equilibrium and centralization of something. It's a neutralizing force. The entrance to the gateway is perfectly balanced in the middle. A person can't enter if they fall heavy to the right or the left. The gate is in the middle. This is a secret of Capricorn that often gets overlooked. It's the point between heaven and earth in the realm of ether. Capricorn holds the energy of true knowledge. It's knowledge that is based on facts and the truth. It's something you can prove in real life. For example, if I told you that an apple would fall back into my hand after I threw it up in the air, I could actually do it and prove to you that what I said was true. Capricorn supports actual facts that work in the real world. Some people claim things to be true, but they can't prove it. This is not a Capricorn thing. For those of you from Missouri, you know that the state slogan is "Show me." If you can't back up what you're saying with evidence, then what's the point? Otherwise, it's all just talk. Too much talking is a waste of breath. Capricorn says do something, show me. How can you gain the trust of others if you can't prove that what you're saying is true? Capricorn is really picky about this, and that's because this is a manifesting energy. You can't manifest things that aren't real. Capricorn is like an upgrade on the truth of Sagittarius. You may know something to be true in Sagittarius, but in Capricorn, you must show that it is true. And this is where some religions fall short. They say that what they believe in is true, yet they can't prove it. I'm not criticizing religion, by the way. I'm just saying that Capricorn would make them prove it. The energy of Capricorn can be verified by personal experience. You understand what pistachio ice cream tastes like only after experiencing it for yourself. Isn't it better to have your own ice cream instead of going to a lecture where they just talk about how it tastes? That's so boring. Experiencing it for yourself is the way to go in Capricorn. Unfortunately, Capricorn is the spoiler that tells little children that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Show me. So what's the big deal about knowledge? Well, you can't manifest things without knowledge. You can't bake a cake unless you have the knowledge how to. This could be from culinary school or just simply following a recipe on the internet. It doesn't matter where the knowledge comes from. What matters is that it works. If it doesn't work, you need to get new knowledge. Einstein said, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results." So keep learning and applying it. Getting what you want will become easier and easier this way. You can create your own reality. People don't manifest things because they don't take the time to learn how. It can just be laziness. All signs have their good and bad qualities, and one of the more challenging qualities of Capricorn is that it's a tamasic guna. What does that mean? Basically, it's inertia, laziness, darkness, ignorance, and so on. But if you keep moving, you won't run into this dark side of Capricorn. Remember, it's a moving sign. So don't stop learning, growing, and applying what you know. If you do, you'll get sucked into the hole of lazy energy, and you won't be known for great accomplishments. I'm not saying that everyone needs to accomplish something great, but if that's your desire, understanding Capricorn energy will help you along with this. It can even make you famous if you apply it correctly. So don't sit on the couch eating potato chips and pizza all day, unless you want to get sick. Capricorn has a natural energy to be lazy, but not if you keep moving. That's how you bring balance and equilibrium to the sign. Once people achieve their goals, they often stop moving forward, and then they get depressed and wonder why. You see this with gold medal athletes all the time. They win the Olympics, then gain a lot of weight and wonder why they're so discouraged. You can only get through the gate of the sea monster when you achieve equilibrium in this sign, not the other signs, this sign. Follow the natural energy of the sign and it gets a lot easier. Otherwise, it's like trying to swim upstream. What's the point of that? Saturn sees everything. This is one planet you don't want to mess with. When you follow Saturn's rules, you are greatly rewarded. This often comes at the expense of a lot of hard work and suffering, but it's totally worth it. Capricorn rules over the highest energy where force meets form. This is a point of balance and equilibrium. Force is an active energy that can be literal energy, your conscious attention, or even an idea. You can't see it, but you know it's there. It's force. Form is a passive object that receives the force in order to make it come alive. For example, force can be gasoline and form can be a car. What good is having a car without gas? You need both force and form in order to make the car go. What good is gas if you don't have a car? So Capricorn rules over the marriage of these two fundamental concepts that serve as the root cause of manifestation. So if you're trying to create something and you're having difficulty making it happen, make sure you look to see if you are deficient in either force or form. Usually, one of these is lacking. Remember, knowledge and ideas are considered force. It's not just physical energy like gas and electricity. There's a saying that where your attention goes, energy flows. So whatever you are putting your attention on, you empower it. This is because your attention is a force, a very powerful one at that. Most people don't realize that there is literal power in their mind. Put those ideas into form and you've created an iPhone, for example. Force can also be you taking action. For success in Capricorn, consider the following equation. Idea plus action equals manifestation. Mars is exalted at 28 degrees of Capricorn. That means Mars is at his best in this sign. The two most malefic planets end up being something very beautiful in this position. The bad planets aren't always bad. Jupiter is debilitated at 5 degrees of Capricorn. It's considered weak at this point and struggles with doing its job well here. Please note that I'm referring to the sidereal zodiac, not tropical. Capricorn rules over respect and honor. This is what you're known for, or how the public sees you. It's how you conduct yourself as compared to others around you. Your general behavior can be seen from this sign. The standards that you work by are assigned to Capricorn. This is the quality of your work and the actions that you take. Do you have high standards? Are you lazy and cut corners? Capricorn will reveal this information. Brand names get a lot of respect because of the high standards and quality they consistently provide. Cheap products end up in the dollar store for a reason. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10 says that whatever your hand sets out to do, do it with all your might. So if you bother to do something, why not do it well? especially if it affects another person, which it usually does. Beliefs and thoughts are ruled by Capricorn. The key here is to make sure your beliefs and thoughts are actually true and based on reality. Opinions and a person's point of view is assigned to Capricorn. Politics can fall into this sign because we often see many different ideas and opinions in the political arena. It's important to let facts lead in this area instead of feelings and emotions. Capricorn energy gets totally out of whack when people try to defend their beliefs with feelings. People don't respect that. Emotional and childish debates destroy what this sign has to offer. Calm, cool, and fact-based discussions tend to do much better here. Remember, Capricorn is the sign that controls the highest aspect of balance and equilibrium. Being emotional throws that balance off center and isn't helpful in this sign. So save your emotions for this sign of Cancer, which pretty much says keep your feelings at home, not at work. There's a place for everything. Most of us would rather have our boss speak to us in a calm, controlled manner as compared to an emotional rage, right? Capricorn rules over supreme authority. This is control at the highest level. For example, the president of a country has strong Capricorn energy because he has power to direct others from the highest level. The sign shows a person's level of authority over others. It's how much power you have. In a company, it would be the CEO that holds Capricorn energy. It rules over a person's ability to command or give orders to others. If you're in charge, you're tapping into Capricorn energy. If you want evidence of this, Queen Elizabeth has Jupiter and Mars in Capricorn. Remember, this is using the sidereal zodiac. Most people would agree that she's in a position of supreme authority. We know that Mars is exalted in Capricorn, where it makes a very strong leader, combined with the royal status, wealth, and riches that come along with Jupiter in the same sign. Capricorn rules over ignorance. Remember, we talked about how it also rules over knowledge? These energies are two opposites. Either you have knowledge about something or you don't. The thing is that the people who have the knowledge end up being the ones with authority, as we just went over. The people who are under authority are often there because of ignorance. If you don't like being under someone's authority, Capricorn is telling you to increase your knowledge, and it'll be easier to break free. Some people think that they have to live a life of poverty and misery working for someone else. That just isn't true. The person in authority likely got there because they put knowledge in their brains that allowed them to operate the business. The people working for the business don't have the knowledge of how or why the business works, so they just settle for a paycheck. Some people are really happy working for others, and that's great. But some people keep complaining about their boss and are just talkers, but not doers. Remember, this kind of thing ruins Capricorn. Instead of talking, it's better to do something. Starting with finding access to any kind of knowledge that will help you get out of the situation. I mean, you can find a video on YouTube for free that will teach you anything and everything. Ignorance is just as much a part of Capricorn as knowledge is. Some people think ignorance is bliss. Some people think that ignorance is debilitating. It'll depend on what planets and aspects you have going on in the sign. If you want to stop being under someone's control, then increase your knowledge. In Capricorn, it's either knowledge or ignorance. Which one do you prefer? Capricorn rules over servants. This is the opposite position from supreme authority. You can't have authority if you don't have anyone to have authority over. Capricorn controls the working class of people whose main job is in the service industry or just serving others in general. It's typical that those with supreme authority have more knowledge than the servants. The more knowledge a person has, the less likely they are to be a servant. Karma is assigned to Capricorn. Karma is your active labor. It includes the actions that you take in life. It's your work. It's what you're known for, and that's why your career falls into the sign. On a deeper level, it rules over the actions you must take in this life based on your actions in past lives. Saturn is known to be the planet that dishes out our karma, and we can't get away from it in this sign. It's an energy that must be fulfilled in this life. If we have debts to pay to others, this sign will make sure that those debts are paid through our action or service to them in some way. Now, it's been said that when the moon moves through each sign in the zodiac, it's testing us in one of the 10 commandments. The 10th commandment is found in Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. Using numerology, you'll find that when you add 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7, you get 10. Capricorn is the 10th sign in the zodiac. Coincidence? The 10th commandment corresponds to Capricorn. It tells us not to desire or to be jealous of what other people have. We're aware of what other people have because the energy of Capricorn puts you in the spotlight where everyone can see what's going on. Remember, Capricorn energy is what you're known for. It's the side of you that everyone sees. Since we all have very unique gifts, being jealous of other people's gifts makes us ungrateful for the things that we do have. When we move away from gratitude, our suffering increases. People have the things they do because of past karma. Natural law says that everything we do is equally returned to us. Everyone gets what they deserve. Why should we hate someone that has worked hard for what they have, especially when we're too lazy to work for anything ourselves? Instead of being jealous of what others have, Capricorn tells us to take action and do something about our own situation. If we spend time focusing on other people constantly, we neglect our own development. Where the attention goes, energy flows. If we're constantly focused on other people, our energy is literally flowing to them, and we deplete our own resources. If we keep our attention and energy sealed up within ourselves, we become more powerful. The more energy we store up inside, the more we can manifest. If you want to look deeper into this sign, determine which house it's in as well. Your house placement will make your reading precise, specific, and individualized to you. That will give you way more information than just understanding the sign of Capricorn alone. In future videos, I'll be going over what it's like when your sun or your moon goes through Capricorn specifically. Today was just about understanding Capricorn in general, what it stands for, and the magnetism it can draw into your life. If you'd like to see more astrology videos from this channel, you can click subscribe below. And for more insight, you can visit astrologyby33.com. If you think this video might be kind of interesting to someone you know, there's also a share button below. And as always, please remember to only use astrology as a guideline, not to use it as something that rules your life. You rule your own life and are given the gift of free will. Create your own reality. You are more powerful than what is written in your horoscope. With proper knowledge of the zodiac comes power to understand your path. If we want to overcome the magnetism and negative influence of the planets in our lives, the daily practice of Kriya Yoga is strongly encouraged in order to dissolve and burn off our past evil negative karma that gets stored in the spinal column. It's best to learn this from a Kriya Yoga master that's still alive. The kingdom is within you, and that includes all the zodiac signs. With God, all things are possible. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Much love to all of you, and God bless.
Begin now and shift the wind. Never let your mind bend. Fight the dark until the end, and you will win. You will win. Stay on the road wherever you go. Stay on the rope and up you will go. Stay on the way, whatever they say. They can't hurt you, they won't hurt you. Do what you do whenever you do. Say what you say, whatever you say.